Hello, and welcome to another episode of Wheel of Horror, the podcast where two best friends spin a wheel once a week. It chooses the movie, and they discuss it. Today, we are talking about the 2017 film Get Out, directed by Jordan Peele. I'm your co-host, Alec.
I'm Eric.
And Eric, this is your first time with Jordan Peele's modern horror masterpiece, Get Out. What do you think?
I hate like the cliche. I love it, dude, but I love this movie.
Yeah?
Dude, I every Oscar movies, every time the Oscars roll around, I try to watch as many as I can. And I think when 2017 rolled around, I was like, oh shit, I got to watch these movies. And I'm like, Get Out, I'm definitely gonna watch eventually anyway. And I think I picked what's that one? Not Contact, but the one with like Amy Adams where she's talking to aliens.
Oh, yeah, Extraction? Or
Yeah, like I try to watch like I think that was like for like sound editing or some shit, but like I watched that one
that's pretty good.
and yeah, well, it was good too, but this is like
Yeah.
this is definitely one of the best movies of 2017 if I can remember correctly. Now, I don't know why it took me so long to watch this movie, and I'm so happy I finally saw it. So original, so good, so clever, so like new age horror. I loved it.
Yeah, man. It's
Thriller too. It's got everything.
Yeah, man. So, I've seen this movie. I think this is probably the third time I saw it. I saw it in theaters, and then I've seen it once since then. And this time, I liked it the most.
Cool.
Especially, dude, because like next time when you go back and watch it, you're just gonna be like, when you see like
Catching
the,
shit.
yeah, man, you see like every single thing that the family say to him when they meet him. You're just like, why are they saying that? It makes more sense now, knowing that they're like feeling him out, sort of thing. And then seeing
Right.
the two black groundskeepers and the maid, like seeing them and their reactions and stuff, you see like, oh, they're in the sunken place and they're trying to like speak to him sort of for a second. Like you start to see those things.
Quick question for you. How
Yeah.
old is the grandparents really? Have they been around
Mm.
for a while?
Okay. So this is
Like
what I think. So that video, the video he watches at the end where they're like watch the Caligula or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, and the grandfather's actually in that.
Right. So think about it this way. So it came out in 2017. Allison Williams is 27 in that movie. She looked like she was probably 8 or so in that video because she's a little girl in that video. So it probably was filmed. That video was probably filmed in like the mid 90s. Okay. And that old. So then within the past 20 years, they've been able to implant that. So I would
Yeah, I
imagine.
just very like they've got like the old South vibes to them,
Oh,
like
yeah.
plantation South vibes. So I'm like, hey, does
Well,
this go back like further? Has the grandparents not had kids and could have been doing this whole switching brains and stuff for a long time, like since like the 1600s?
okay. No.
That's where I
So
was like, I wonder how far back it truly goes.
I kind of like how they leave it a little bit ambiguous, but from what I gather, the grandfather, like Bradley Whitford's father, and I don't know, I guess his wife, they came up with this strange sort of like surgery hypnosis kind of thing where you basically can implant your body and consciousness into someone else's body. I don't think it has anything to do with like race particularly, but you can do it to anybody. So I don't think this could have taken place much longer than 30 years ago because there's brain surgery involved and all that stuff. So I don't really think it could be like the 1600s.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, maybe there's some, like, that goes all the way far back, but,
Well,
because I mean, like, there's, like, literally a similarity to a slave auction at one point in the movie, and I'm like, "Is this really, like, Old South?" That's where I was,
well,
like, starting to get question, like, how old the grandparents were. Is this, like, an ancient hypnosis thing?
I
I
don't think so.
couldn't I
I
kinda got that. I don't know. I don't may to each their own, though, but that's what I was picking up.
Right. No, well, the thing is, it's filmed in Alabama. So it was filmed on like a basically like a plantation-esque feeling thing, but it takes place in upstate New York because they're talking about
Huh.
Brooklyn and they're talking about, oh, coming up from the city, like not all the crazies are out only in the city because he's a therapist or his wife's a therapist. And he's like, how's business? He's
Yeah.
like, it's great. He's like, not everybody's crazy just like in the city. Everyone's crazy out here
Yeah.
too. And then the guy keeps like, look at him. He's from Brooklyn. Like he doesn't dress like that. So it's right outside of New York, but it was filmed in the South.
Right.
It does have that.
Yeah, there's that, but I guess
Yeah.
they wanted to give it a the Southern vibe. I
Right,
mean,
right.
but,
No, for sure,
uh,
for sure.
that's what I was questioning. Sorry, I'm burping a little bit.
No, yeah, man. I love how tense the whole movie feels. Like that's the thing that really I like about it. You never know. You don't really know what the hell's going on the whole time, pretty much until the end. And is Allison Williams, is she good or bad? Like she is the most manipulative character I think in this whole movie.
It's unsettling, to say the least, very unsettling. I mean, I like at the end, like, she ups the ante from, like, good-looking black men to straight up, and women too. And which I mean, there's that picture with her and the girl, so she had
Yeah.
a lesbian thing, but could have been a friend. Could have been a
Yeah.
friend. I don't know. I mean, I just felt like all these relationships she was in,
Why would she keep
but
that box? Why would she keep that?
well, the brother mentioned something at the dinner, saying something like how she used to keep all her toenails in a box. So
Oh,
there's, like,
yeah.
little things that, like, hit, and I'm like, "Huh." Later in the movie, I see the box. She finds a box, and maybe he was thinking, like, the toenail box or something.
Yeah, dude, for sure. And yeah, but her character, man, just like obviously she's, very good looking, very charismatic. She just seems like a great girlfriend, but when she switches, dude, when she just takes the keys out, she's like, I can't give this to you, babe. And then it's just like,
Yeah.
whoa, like everything, dude. She plays it up to the last
Well,
second.
even when his friend Ron, the
Yeah,
TSA guy, yeah, when
yeah,
he's, like, going to record her, it's like she knew she was being recorded and
dude,
switched gears. I was like, "Damn," and then he hangs up, he's like, "Man, she's fucking genius." Like, she is
dude.
really manipulative.
Oh my
Like,
god, when she's not making any, like, facial expression, she's like, "Oh my god, what do you mean? Where is he?" But she's not I'm like, "Dude, that was like the Terminator." That was like
but
that scene when they mimic the voice in the
right,
Terminator.
right, that was, like, robotic. It was, like, that
Yeah,
deep, and then there's also like, it was, like, Hannibal Lecter style, but then there's also like I was saying before, like, up in the ante, like, she went from, like, a really good-looking black man to
yeah,
now she's gonna go after, like, athletes, like, straight up NBA prospects. Remember
right,
she was, like, Googling? I'm like, "Damn!" Like, that is
yeah.
insane.
She's evil, dude, and,
Yeah,
dude, honestly, I think the character that scared me the most is the mother. She terrified me, man, how
dude,
calm she was in her evil, like, looks all the time.
dude, please tell me she's not her actual mother, but I close my eyes, and when she talks, that mother, you know who I hear?
Who?
The girl from Parks and Rec and The Office. Not Pam, the other
Oh.
girl Jim dates.
Oh, oh my god, it's, Quincy Jones's daughter,
Yes,
Rashidia Jones.
yeah, yeah. Dude, close your eyes. It's the exact same voice.
Really?
I looked away and I'm like, "Is she in this movie?" And I'm like, "What the hell?" Like, I swear to God, dude, that is how close their voices are.
That's so funny because this Catherine Keener woman, she's the love interest in 40 Year Old Virgin. She must be, like, 35 years older than that woman, than Rashidia Jones.
I'm telling you, dude, identical
I
voices. We're
believe
gonna
it.
have to Google this later, dude. It's something I have a keen ear for, and their voices are exactly the same.
Huh. Just, like, her face, dude, and, like, just how calm she is, and then she's the hypnotic one. She's the one that can do all of this. Ugh,
Yeah.
I don't know. She made me very uncomfortable, very
Yeah,
unsettling.
there was that tea scene, right? And I'm
Yeah.
thinking also another thing, and this is just me thinking outside the box. There's a scene of them drinking iced tea, remember?
Mhm.
Maybe they drugged him too to get him prepared for the hypnosis. Maybe there's something in his iced tea too. Because that's
I
the
mean,
grandmother
maybe.
the whole time that's serving the iced tea.
Right.
So I'm thinking
They
maybe there's
never
some a drug thing involved in it as well. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's like a slow hypnosis, but because it was really quick to like just start spinning her teeth. Like I think the tea had a part to it.
could have been. I mean, they talk about the 3 phases, and it's almost like a butterfly, and it's called
Hmm.
coagula, so I'm probably too stupid to figure this out, but coagula, I think, like, coagulated blood, like, mixing I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about, but,
Yeah.
the T
Well, it's like
hypnosis is
leaving one body behind and then going into another.
right. Yeah, it's like metamorphosis, and that's
Yes.
kinda what because they show the butterfly in that video, so I was like, "Oh, okay." And then he talks about he's like, "We are the flame of the cocoon," and he's as right as he turns, Bradley Whitford's character. His
Yeah.
character too, man. I love that actor. I think Bradley Whitford is so good in everything he does, and in this one, he to me is the least threatening guy because he's so goofy and, like, stupid kind of, but the
Yeah.
other characters, the brother and the mother are just, like, unsettling in everything they
He
say.
was unsettling too to me, dude. But I mean, the whole family's unsettling. The father, though, when he first comes home and says something along the lines of like, "I just want all these deers eradicated,"
Yeah.
it kind of had that like, "Oh,
Yep.
why would you say this like in their first 5 minutes?" It's
Mhm.
just so weird and so
Dude,
unsettling.
there's this time I was watching, I was like, "Wow, he's really aggressive about these deers," and you're right, it's like you just met this guy, like, what the fuck? You
Yeah,
don't know this
it's a
guy could
lot.
be,
It's a
like,
lot.
a vegetarian in PETA or whatever, and you're just like, "You, these fucking put them all down." You notice when he's walking through the house, everything he's talking about is somewhat racial, even when he says, like, "Yeah, we got black mold in the basement." He coulda just
Yeah,
said
it's
mold. He
insanely unsettling, but
every
also he brings up his grandfather, the picture of him and how he was in
yeah.
the Berlin Olympics, and it's like, what
Mhm.
went on there? Maybe his grandpa had something to do with the athleticism and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like, and, like, the surgery, who
Uh
knows? Maybe that was a thing he was doing.
So, I thought about that. I think the reason that they bring that up is because at that Olympics, that was the one where, Hitler's obviously talking about the Aryan race is gonna beat it, and then an African American won that one and beat it. So,
Yeah.
he, the father, was there and then got transplanted into an African American man who can run really fast now. Think
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, no, I did
So
that's what I was picking up. I was like, "Oh, this guy really, really, really scary."
'cause he's the groundskeeper at the end, and
Well, he's
you
also
see him.
chopping wood, he's just jacked too,
Well,
yoked out
he
of his mind.
runs dude, he runs right at the character, the lead character, like, remember that scene where he's running
Yeah.
super fast at him? So that's probably it, he's a runner, and he's like, "Sorry about my
Well,
exercises."
dude, not only a runner, but did you see his arms?
Yeah.
Like, and how he chops wood, he can chop that whole piece without hitting, like, with a sledging in, he just goes right through it.
Yeah.
It's like, damn! Yeah, it's insane,
Yeah.
it's insane.
And dude, and he's literally sitting there just being, like, talking about his granddaughter to him, he's just like, "She's a doggone keeper, huh?" Just, like, crazy, dude.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not what he says, it's how he says it.
Well, that's
And
another thing about the old South lingo. You hear what he says, like, "I don't wanna snitch on anybody. I don't wanna
a
rat anyone
tattletale.
out," and tattletale, it's like, that's an old word. That's
Yeah,
like,
maybe.
you know what I mean? Like grim fairy tale words.
Dude, it's a very smart movie,
Very
and
smart.
I wanna say this really quick, and again, I don't wanna shit on this movie in any way, but this is something that, we're just having a conversation, and I wanted to talk about this with somebody, but have you ever seen the movie The Stepford Wives?
No, but that isn't that based like, didn't he get inspiration from that movie? I never saw that's from, like, 1974 or 5 or
So
6.
there's the '75 version, then there was the remake in 2004, that Frank Oz actually directed, which is odd, but it's very, very similar, but it has to do more with, like, the feminist movement, where it's like a guy meets a woman in the city, and he loves her, but she's, like, too outspoken and, like, all this stuff, and she's really feminist, he doesn't like that, so he takes her to this city, essentially, and they're able to kind of brainwash the women into becoming, like, subservient women, wives. And she comes to this town and she's like, "Why are all these women kinda like this?" They're all like perfect 1950s, just like, "I love my husband" kind of people, and they're trying to turn her into that. So it's kind of similar, but I think Get Out is
I
much
mean,
better.
brainwashing is one layer, but you add this
Yeah,
layer of race to it, and,
right.
it's like layers on top of layers, and you also add the modern twist to it too, and more horror and comedy too. Like Jordan
Oh,
Peele's
yeah.
funny, so you have
Right,
that TSA comedic relief going on, which I loved. I wish there was a
right.
little. This is a perfect amount. What am I saying? There was a perfect amount of comedy. There didn't need to be any more,
Yeah, it
but
wasn't like It Chapter 2 where it was just like Bill
yeah,
Hader just fucking no, but and that's the thing, I don't wanna I wanna just be very clear, like, I think Get Out is actually a modern horror masterpiece, I really do, but I just wanna say, and as I've had conversations with people over the years about this, it does take a lot from The Stepford Wives. Not saying that it's not an original movie, I think
yeah.
Jordan Peele is
He
so unbelievably talented as everything, I mean,
Oh,
comedy and
did he
horror.
said though he drew inspiration from the Stepford Wives.
Did
He's
he?
not like yeah, he said and like I read, you know me, I drove today from New Jersey. I've been in a
Yeah.
car. I got home, watched it, and now I'm here. I had no time to look up trivia, but for the little bit of trivia I saw, two things I found out. One, that Jordan Peele did Jordan Peele like kind of based this off like his relationships in the past, but also he said he drew inspiration from the Stepford Wives. So there's that. He never like stole the idea. He's like, no,
No, no,
it's
no,
a
no, no, no.
nod too.
I don't think that at all. I wanna say, I just noticed when I was watching it, I was like, "There's a lot of similarities," and not that there's anything wrong with that, but I am saying this again, much better than The Stepford Wives, much different from The Stepford Wives, but, there are a couple parallels. All that
Yeah,
aside,
yeah, no,
love this movie, not trying to
totally.
shit on it in any way. I've seen this movie a bunch. I loved Us. I love
Yeah.
all the stuff
I didn't
Jordan
see
Peele's
Us yet.
doing.
I gotta see Us next. That'll be on the
Thi
next wheel
it's
1,000%.
good. I'm not gonna say much about it. I like this one better, but not by much. Like, Us is equally as good, and he's also producing the, Candyman reboot, which I'm very excited about. So,
Ooh.
Jordan Peele, in my mind, I mean, with the Key and Peele and then Mad TV and then this, like,
Twilight Zone?
dude, I seriously look at him and I'm like, "This is, like, a guy that can do it all." So,
Yeah.
fucking love
Yeah.
him, look forward to every movie he does.
Yeah, the only other trivia I read, so there's that trivia about Jordan Peele, like, kinda taking inspiration from Stepford Wives, but also Allison Williams, he
Yeah.
wanted her because he's like, "You were Peter Pan and you were Marnie from Girls. So I want someone when a viewer sees you, they're gonna believe you're a nice person."
Ah, okay. That makes
Like, it's
sense
just,
'cause
like,
she
subconsciously, like, Allison Williams is nice. She's always played, like, the nice character. Although, predictably watching this, like, there are things when There are things watching this were like, "Oh, that's gonna happen. Oh, that's gonna happen." I did not see the grandparents being in
Mm.
the 2 bodies. I did not see that, and I did not see when he uses the thing to plug his ears coming, but I did predict a
Oh,
little
yeah.
bit. When he
Really?
pulls those things out, I was like, "Oh, that's awesome." So I also, like, pretended I was tied down, and could I put that in my ear? I was like, "His hands were tied down. How the hell did he get to his ear?" His waist or chest was not tied down, only his arms.
Yeah.
So they clearly made it so he could lean down and shove that in his ear. So
Right.
that was smart. I was like, I don't think he could do that with his hands tied. But then I was like, oh, his chest isn't. But
Dude, what did you I think there's so many couple of things I don't wanna forget, but, you remember Stephen Root, the blind guy who ends up actually being the one who's gonna possess him or whatever?
yeah, because he's a photographer.
Yeah, I love that. He's like, "I want your eye, man," 'cause
Yeah.
he's, like, following him, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is so deep," and, like,
I
they
want to
must
know
have had Alice
who was his assistant that described the photos to him.
I don't know, but
That's something too. Remember, he says like my
imagine
assistant describes the photos to me. He can't see his photos.
he used to be a photographer, and he probably has somebody that can explain it to him so he can imagine what it looks like sorta thing. It's not like he was born blind, 'cause that would make no
Yeah, but
sense.
that kind of piqued my interest. Like, who's your assistant that's describing? They must be like really, that's a sequel thing right there. Even
Well, think about this, man.
assistant.
They must have known. They must have been like, "Hey, Bradley and, Catherine," like, those characters would be like, "You have to get your daughter to go after this amateur photographer who's at the Hudson Gallery because I want his eyes." So, like, they're all aware of what's going
Yeah,
on. Like, and when he goes upstairs and they all freeze and they just listen to him walking, you're just like, "Oh my god, this is so
yeah,
creepy, man."
yeah, yeah.
It's so
I know we're
uncomfortable.
bouncing around a lot. Is there anything you don't like about this movie?
I you know what? Yes, I don't like how quick it ends. I wanted there to be more I
Mm.
wanted Bradley Whitford to have a little bit more of, like, an explanation before he just got killed. I wanted that. I wanted Catherine Keener and Bradley Whitford and the son to just explain a little bit more before they just died.
Did you ever see the alternate ending?
No. I don't even know
There's
what
an
that is.
alternate ending, which is called the first ending for Jordan Peele because he's like, I wanted this to be the ending, but he then backed off of it. It dealt a little bit more with race and the police system, and the police show up and arrest him.
I
All the
mean
evidence is gone, the house is burnt down, everyone else is dead. It's just Allison
oh,
Williams and
shit.
him. And
Alright.
the police arrest him and he's in jail. And the TSA friend goes to visit him in jail and he says something along with, I won, I did it. I'm like that. I'm good.
Dude,
And
okay.
it's like he's a martyr because he means to his friend, like, I'm good. I got over my mother's death. I'm good because he saved the grandmother. That saved him from his sadness. So he's
Mhm.
like free now, but also he's in jail. So it's like almost like he's a martyr.
2 things about that. I kind of wish that something like that happened because right when he's on top of Allison Williams choking her and you see the cop lights pull up, I'm looking at this like, "Holy shit, he's gonna get shot right now," just like at the end of,
Yeah.
Night of the Living
Yeah.
Dead. That's
Yeah.
what I thought was gonna happen.
I thought that too.
Dude, me too, and even this time I was like, "Wait, what? What? I don't remember this."
Also,
And
side note, do TSA agents have police cars?
nah,
That was a reach too, but, like, I'm just saying, like, I could see the ending that Jordan Peele wanted, and I
yeah.
think people got involved and were like, "No, you can't do that. You can't do police stuff." Ending.
Well, here's the other thing, man. You remember how he keeps talking about how he left his mother to die on the side of the road, and he coulda saved her and all that stuff, remember
Mhm.
that scene? Dude, he leaves Marnie to die at the side of the road, cold, alone, and
After
she
he just saved someone else, though.
yeah, exactly. No, but I think that was interesting that, like, he still did that to that woman knowing that's, like, the worst way to go, basically.
Yeah, but he didn't hit her with his car. It wasn't a hit and run like his mom. It would have been a
No,
shot like
exactly.
his it would be a little
No,
different. That would be extreme too, but
but
yeah,
how
I almost, like, want, like I bet Jordan Peele's like, "Man, I should've just kept that first ending. I should've."
yeah.
It went comedy at the end.
Yeah, I know. I do like the sound of that better, but dude, how fucked up is Allison Williams that she's listening to him tell this story about the mom and like he's like, "I let her die," and like and then like kissing her and telling her I love her and all this stuff. And the whole time she's sitting there being like, "I don't fucking care about you. You're just another one that we're gonna get."
You're one of
Like,
it looked like at least 30
oh my
people she's
god,
done this
dude.
to.
So
So
messed up.
so one other thing I wanted to say, the one part I didn't like really and wasn't just a fan of, and I don't think it was needed was the brother. I think he was wedged in there. I don't think the brother was needed. I think Allison William could have played both parts.
I
They
mean,
brought him in to be the muscle, and that was it. The father could have done the muscle stuff. We
okay.
really, really didn't need the brother.
The only reason I thought the brother was needed is because of that scene in the beginning. He's like, I thought he was gonna be the one to get put into it. So I thought he
Yeah.
was, like, testing him out and talking about UFC and talking about these physical things just to be like, "I'm gonna be in your body soon, so I wanna see like, I wanna put you in a headlock and see how strong you really are compared to
Yeah.
my new body." That's what I thought was gonna happen, but you're right. You don't gain anything from his character being in there if he's not the one who's gonna take
Could I
over,
tell you one thing I thought was gonna happen too?
yeah.
You know, he tells the story about, like, how, like, some guy bit his tongue because she Frenched him
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
I thought Chris was gonna run into somebody and, like, try to talk to him, and their tongue is gone. And I thought that was
Oh.
gonna happen at one point in the movie.
Oh, dude, that would've been sick.
Yeah.
That would've been
But
really cool.
and one other thing, going back to the cop thing at the end, we've already met the cops.
Yeah.
At the
Yeah.
beginning, remember, they get pulled over, so it's like they come back and they see that and they don't like him already. So it's like
Yeah.
there
I
was
thought
already some planted seeds there.
Yeah, no, you're right. That seemed like a missed opportunity. They genuinely like, you coulda seen another guy well, okay, you know what? Now that we're speaking on a couple things we don't like, I don't like how easy it is for them to become unhypnotized. That seems like a huge
Yeah.
risk that
I
if
mean, what
one
happens when there's a
flash
lightning storm?
Right. Right.
Like,
Dude, I
anything.
was thinking, like, yeah, like, somebody just, like, puts on their, like, high beams really quick when you're driving, and all of a sudden they're like, "Ah," and they start freaking out and having a bloody nose, like so I was like, "Shit, that seems a little too easy to fully
Yeah.
pull them out of the hypnosis."
A lightning flash is really bright, but also a camera flash is really bright. So a camera flash happens, and the first guy we see, the what was his name, Andre or Dre, it happens to him. He comes back for like 10 seconds. The
Right.
other guy
Right.
with the grandfather, he came back for one, came back, grabbed a gun, shot Allison Williams, and then shot himself. It was like almost like 30 seconds. So it's like,
Yeah.
how long is this window of coming back?
Dude, I think that the window doesn't stop until they are able to re-hypnotize them, because that's what they did. They took that Andre guy into a
Right,
different
right, right.
room,
Good point.
and then they had to, like, bring him back, and then this guy who the grandpa guy probably was like, "You know what? Fuck it, I'm not going back." Because he doesn't
Yeah.
and also, think about it, man. If you're, like, just as they say, like, a passenger in your own body and you're not feeling or seeing or smelling or anything like that, you probably are just like, "I just wanna fucking kill myself. I don't wanna
Well,
do
I think
this
that's what
ever."
happened at the end with this guy because he knew that the house was burnt down and he didn't want to be stuck in the grandfather just by himself. Like he probably they said something along the lines like you see everything. You're a passenger. You see everything. You're there, but
Yeah.
you get these moments of like consciousness and stuff. Sequel ideas. Do you have any?
Well, I guess they could find out more about this Coagula thing. They could
Hmm.
see like how that got started. That'd be more of a prequel idea. But
Yeah,
these characters are still alive, so maybe they could figure out like there's a much larger network. Wait, dude, there's all those other people from the party.
that's what I was gonna say. So
Yeah.
here's my thing. So first of all, Chris and what's the TSA? Ron, TSA guy,
Yeah.
and Chris, they become bachelors, never dating again, just roommates now. They're having fun. They have the dog still, living the life. All of a
Hmm.
sudden, they go to get food and they come back and their apartment's raided and stuff, and people have been
Mm,
there. And they don't want him anymore. They don't want Ron either. They want to kill him because he knows too much.
yeah.
Or you could do it as these two guys, the TSA guy and Chris, are just straight up going to get revenge on the rest of these people that were at this party and go and
Mm,
kill them all. And there could be a contingency plan. And maybe there's one other person in the family that's not at the house, too, that knows this procedure and is still doing these things for these super rich white people as well. But I could see there's so many potential things they can do. Either the people are coming after Chris and Ron, or Ron and Chris are going after the rich white people and
yeah.
making sure this doesn't happen to anyone else.
You remember that scene where he goes to the cop? First of all, I love that idea. I think there's a lot of potential for sequel here, but the scene where Lil Ray or Ron, he goes to the police officer and he starts explaining what's going on. They all laugh at him, sort of thing. But dude, really quick, the funniest line in the whole movie to me is when he sits down. He's just like, "Yeah, man, they got my boy Chris," and he's like, "They abducted your son," and like takes out the thing and he's like, "No, he's 26," because he calls his friend my boy.
Yeah, yeah.
That scene
He's like,
made me
"No, it's
laugh
my
so hard.
friend." Yeah, yeah.
I
I
thought that
like
was
that. My favorite was, I mean, and here's what I was thinking too. Allison Williams is gorgeous and amazing and everything, but he's already gone to this house to meet the parents. A lot of crazy shit's going on. Ron has made the joke, like, "What's she doing? Licking your balls?" I thought that was funny. Like, so here's my thing. Up until one point, so I was thinking, like, what is this guy doing? Why doesn't he get out? Allison Williams must be a freak in the sheets in order for him to like stay past the guy waving at him. It's like, okay, I'm getting the hell. You hit a deer, and then you pull up to this like freaking plantation. 2 black people there are like the people in the field raking and cleaning, and it's like, I gotta get the hell out of here. It's
Yeah.
weird. But so it's I'm thinking like, okay, so the only reason he's staying is because Allison Williams is a freak,
Mhm.
and he's like, no, but then they have the scene on the park bench where then he's like, I love you and you're all I have. So I'm like, oh
Yeah.
wait, yeah, he doesn't have his mom, doesn't have his
Mhm.
dad. I mean, he has his friends, but he has an apartment with her, and it's like, wow, he really only has her. So it's
Yeah.
like that's why he stays. And I think that's
Mhm.
very important for anyone watching this movie is why doesn't he just get the hell out right away? Like Allison Williams is a diamond. No, he loves her.
He wants
And
to believe
also,
she's everything he thinks she is, and she's
right.
not.
Right. And she's like she's woke. She protects him. She's protects him from the cops, remember? She's like, I'm gonna stand
Yeah.
up for you if my parents do any shit, which she does. It's just that she's so batshit,
Committed.
genius, manipulative, crazy.
Dude.
Like
Dude, she
Hannibal
is
Lecter like
yeah.
style.
I think her performance is very undervalued in this movie just because it's so good all around,
Yeah.
but, like, her character, dude, is the driving evil of this movie. Like,
Yeah.
without her, none of this you can't capture the mouse without the cheese. Like, she's the cheese, basically, that
Yeah,
brings
I got a
everything
lot more respect for Allison Williams. You know, I was not I mean, I watched the first 3 seasons of Girls, and I hated that show. I liked some parts of it, but that show overall was like, not for me. I did not like her character, but watching this, I'm like, "Damn, she's a good actress."
No, I blown away by her in this, man. Overall, though, I'm very much looking forward to more of Jordan Peele's movies. Dude, this budget was
4,000,000 or
4.5 million.
$5,000,000? Yeah,
Dude,
dude.
it made
Dude.
255. So then I'm telling you, man, I'm not even kidding, just as good. Personally, I think I like this one a little bit better, but it's just as good, honestly.
Yeah,
You should check it out. We definitely should put on the next wheel, but,
absolutely.
I every single thing Jordan Peele does, I'm on board for. The
This is
music. Wait, I wanted to ask you because you
the
like
violin, like,
no,
"Ding,"
no,
like,
no, no. Dude, that's a ukulele. You play the
what?
ukulele.
It's the ukulele, not
What'd I
Lele?
say? What'd I say?
Ukulele, it's ukulele.
Ukulele?
Yeah, you're
Ukulele?
messing me up, dude.
Is
Ukulele.
it ukulele?
Yeah, a ukulele.
Ukulele.
Not no, lay ukulele.
Oh, fuck, okay, whatever. Anyways, the ukulele, but you see the brother playing it, and it's an
That's
off-tune
what that is?
ukulele? Yeah.
So it's
Dude,
like a violin thing off a ukulele?
it's like ding, 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 ding. It's like, oh, dude, I thought you were gonna
No
love that.
shit, I'm gonna learn it.
I'm
Well,
gonna learn
I
it.
know what we're doing when we're getting together.
Oh boy,
I'm whipping out the ukulele.
I'm
Lele.
gonna
Lele.
I'm gonna how do you pronounce that word? Fuck.
Dude, you just messed me up, man. Okay. Oh, let me try it. I have a ukulele. Lele.
Ukulele. What did I say?
Stop,
Oh,
dude.
man.
Stop.
Alright,
Stop.
alright,
We'll
alright,
figure it
alright,
out.
alright. Anyways,
But
anything else you wanna say about this movie before we wrap up?
I'm glad I finally saw this, and I'm mad at myself for not seeing this sooner. I can't wait to get into more Jordan Peele shit. I think he's one of the new masters of horror.
Right there with you. Really, not I would say aside from A24, there aren't a lot of modern horror movies that I'm, like, crazy about, but this is, Jordan Peele. I'm right there. I'm on board. Like his
I'm
stuff.
excited to watch Us, but I'm really excited to watch his Candyman. When's that
Yeah.
coming out?
Well, it's supposed to come out this year, and then it got, pushed back to next year. So he's
COVID.
not he produced it. He's not directing it. So I'm still excited, but not as excited
Yeah,
as
I mean, real quick, Keegan Michael Key from Keen Peele hooked him up with like, "Hey, you got to listen to my friend Jordan's idea." And the guy, whoever this big producer was like, "I'm gonna pay you for the pitch and the script. You're gonna write the script and you're gonna direct it." And dude, that is so cool. Like,
yeah.
just like told him I have this idea. Blah, 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 blah. He's like, right then and there at like whatever coffee shop, dinner table there. He was like, "Yeah, this movie's happening. I'll
Mm.
make sure it does."
It's a
And, like,
very
wouldn't it be weird, like, some huge comedy guy coming up to you and being like, "I have a horror movie idea." It's like, "Huh, stick to the jokes." Hearing this is like, you have probably the best new horror movie idea, like, ever. And it's like, and you're hilarious, and you're gonna put a couple funny jokes in this movie, right? Yeah, here's but $5,000,000.
he reminds me of me and you because like, we love comedy, and we love horror, and I'm like, "This guy's just like us," and he's blending it so perfectly, and I don't know.
Perfect. Like,
Big fan.
I love how I said, like, I love that there's the perfect amount of comedy in this movie.
No, it's really good. Alright, well, we don't have a wheel to spin because our last movie's gonna be Krampus,
Krampus.
and
Nice.
then that Monday, we'll have a brand new wheel with brand new movies.
We'll see what the wheel
Alright.
does, dude. We don't even know. We don't even know.
I literally don't know,
I
so
don't know. I really
anyway.
don't know.
All right. Well, we will see everybody next week for
All
Krampus.
right, I'll get out of here. Get out.
Get out.